My granddaughter told me I'm too old to understand the world anymore, that my opinions are like dust in the wind. She said I should just enjoy my retirement and let the young folks handle things. But here's the thing, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I've realized that being dismissed because of my age is a hard pill to swallow. My name is Walter. I'm 78 years old, and I want to share with you a story that taught me a lesson I'll never forget. It was back in the summer of 1967 in a small town called Oakdale, where I grew up with my best friend, Jimmy Wilson. We were invincible, or so we thought. We spent our days exploring the woods, fishing in the creek, and getting into all sorts of trouble. But one day, everything changed. Jimmy's dad got sick, and his family had to sell their farm to pay for the medical bills. Jimmy was devastated, and I didn't know how to help him. I felt like I was losing my brother. But here is what I never told anyone. Jimmy's mom came to me and asked for my help. She needed someone to talk to, and I was the only one she trusted. She told me that Jimmy's dad was dying, and they didn't have much time left. I promised her I'd be there for Jimmy, no matter what. And I was, or at least I thought I was. We spent every day together, doing all the things we loved, but I could see the pain in Jimmy's eyes, and I didn't know how to take it away. As the days turned into weeks, Jimmy's dad got worse, and we both knew it was only a matter of time. I remember the day he passed away. It was like a part of us died too. Jimmy was heartbroken, and I didn't know how to comfort him. I felt like I was failing my best friend. But here is what I never told anyone. I made a mistake that would haunt me for the rest of my life. I told Jimmy that his dad was in a better place, that he was no longer in pain, but Jimmy just looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, "You don't understand. Walter, my dad is gone, and I'll never see him again." That moment changed me. It made me realize that sometimes, when people are hurting, they don't need our words. They just need our presence. I learned that the hard way, and it's a lesson I'll never forget. The truth is, when we're young, we think we have all the answers, but as we get older, we realize that we don't know much at all. We just know how to be present, how to listen, and how to love. But here is what I never told anyone, that mistake I made. It stayed with me for years. It made me question my own ability to help others. I felt like I had let Jimmy down, and that feeling of guilt followed me for a long time. But as I got older, I realized that it was okay to make mistakes. It was okay to not have all the answers. What's important is that we're there for each other, that we show up, even when it's hard. The revelation hit me like a ton of bricks. It's not about being young or old. It's about being present. It's about being willing to listen, to learn, and to love. It's about understanding that we don't have all the answers, and that's okay. My granddaughter may think I'm too old to understand the world, but I know that I have a lot to offer. I have a lifetime of experiences, of mistakes, and of lessons learned. But here is what I never told anyone. I've been thinking about Jimmy a lot lately, and I've been wondering what he would say if he were here today. I think he would tell me that I did the best I could, that I was there for him when it mattered most. And that's all any of us can do. We can show up, we can listen, and we can love. My granddaughter may not want to hear what I have to say, but I hope you do, because this is a lesson that I have learned, and it's a lesson that I want to share with you. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does this have to do with anything? But here is what I never told anyone. It has everything to do with everything. It's about being human. It's about being vulnerable, and it's about being willing to learn from our mistakes. So, if you're still listening, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being present, for being willing to listen, and for being open to learning from an old man like me. And now, I want to go back to what my granddaughter said, that I'm too old to understand the world anymore. But I know that's not true. I know that I have a lot to offer, and I know that my experiences, my mistakes, and my lessons learned are worth sharing. So, if you're willing to listen, I'm willing to share, and I hope you'll join me on this journey. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and I hope you'll let me share my stories with you. As I sit here, reflecting on my life, I'm reminded of the struggles I've faced, the doubts I've overcome, and the moments that have shaped me into the person I am today. I think about the times I felt lost, alone, and unsure of which path to take, and how those moments of uncertainty ultimately led me to where I am now. I've come to realize that it's in those darkest moments, when we're forced to confront our deepest fears and insecurities, that we discover our greatest strengths and our most profound wisdom. I remember the first time I hit rock bottom, feeling like I had failed at everything, and that I had nothing left to give. It was a painful and humbling experience, but it was also a turning point for me. I realized that I had a choice to make. I could let my circumstances define me, or I could use them as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to rise above. I chose the latter, and it's a decision that has changed my life in ways I never could have imagined. As I look back on my journey, I'm reminded of the people who have helped shape me along the way. The mentors who believed in me, the friends who supported me, and the loved ones who encouraged me to keep going, even when the road ahead seemed uncertain. I think about the lessons they taught me, the wisdom they shared, and the love they showed me, and I'm filled with a deep sense of gratitude and appreciation. But I'm also reminded of the struggles I've faced, the obstacles I've overcome, and the times I've had to pick myself up, dust myself off, and keep moving forward. I think about the nights I spent crying myself to sleep, the days I spent feeling lost and alone, and the moments I felt like giving up. And yet, despite all of those challenges, I'm still here, I'm still standing, and I'm still moving forward. That's what I want to share with you, my story, my struggles, and my triumphs. I want to share with you the lessons I've learned, the wisdom I've gained, and the love I've experienced. I want to inspire you, to motivate you, and to encourage you to keep going, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. I want to remind you that you're not alone, that you're strong, and that you're capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. So, if you're feeling lost, alone, or unsure of which path to take, I want you to know that you're not alone. I've been there, I've felt that way, and I've come out the other side. I want to share my story with you, in the hopes that it might inspire you, motivate you, and encourage you to keep going. I want to remind you that you have a purpose, that you have a passion, and that you have a unique gift to share with the world. As I look to the future, I'm excited to see what's in store. I'm excited to continue sharing my story, to continue inspiring and motivating others, and to continue growing and learning as a person. I'm excited to connect with you, to hear your story, and to learn from your experiences. I'm excited to build a community of like-minded individuals who are passionate about personal growth, self-improvement, and making a positive impact in the world. So let's do this. Let's embark on this journey together. Let's share our stories, our struggles, and our triumphs. Let's inspire, motivate, and encourage each other to be our best selves. Let's create a community that is supportive, uplifting, and empowering. Let's make a difference in the world, one story at a time. As we begin this journey, I want to share with you a personal story that has had a profound impact on my life. It's a story of struggle, of perseverance, and of ultimately finding my purpose. Growing up, I always felt like I didn't quite fit in. I was the kid who was always a little too curious, a little too sensitive, and a little too unsure of myself. I struggled to find my place in the world, to find my voice, and to find my passion. But as I navigated the ups and downs of life, I began to realize that my struggles were not unique. I began to see that everyone around me was fighting their own battles, and that we were all in this together. I remember the moment that changed everything for me. I was at a low point, feeling lost and alone, when I stumbled upon a community of people who were going through similar struggles. They were open, honest, and vulnerable, sharing their stories and their experiences with courage and authenticity. As I listened to their stories, I felt a sense of connection and belonging that I had never felt before. I realized that I was not alone, that there were others out there who understood me, and that together we could overcome anything. That's when it hit me, the power of storytelling. The power of sharing our stories, our struggles, and our triumphs. The power of creating a community that is supportive, uplifting, and empowering. I knew that I wanted to be a part of this movement, to help create a space where people could come together, share their stories, and inspire and motivate each other. And that's exactly what we're doing here today. As we build this community, I want to encourage you to be brave, to be vulnerable, and to be honest. Share your story, even if it's scary, even if it's hard. Share your struggles, even if they're painful, even if they're embarrassing. And share your triumphs, even if they're small, even if they seem insignificant. Because it's in these moments of vulnerability and openness that we can truly connect with each other, that we can truly inspire and motivate each other, and that we can truly make a difference in the world. I believe that every single one of us has a unique story to tell, a unique perspective to share, and a unique gift to offer. And I believe that when we come together, when we share our stories and our experiences, and when we support and uplift each other, we can create something truly extraordinary. We can create a community that is a beacon of hope, a source of inspiration, and a force for good in the world. So, I want to leave you with a challenge today. I want to challenge you to share your story, to share your truth, and to share your heart. I want to challenge you to be brave, to be vulnerable, and to be open. And I want to challenge you to join me on this journey, to join me in creating a community that is supportive, uplifting, and empowering. Let's do this together. Let's make a difference in the world, one story at a time. Let's inspire, motivate, and encourage each other to be our best selves. And let's create a space where everyone can thrive, where everyone can grow, and where everyone can find their purpose.